travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Hi, people. This is Chantel. Welcome to the Vida show here on Usala Media. You are only hearing my voice as a regular today. Julie is on a much-needed vacation in Dominican Republic. I am so jealous.
DR.
Enjoy yourself. The other voice that you are hearing is who has been filling in.
Becoming a regular.
Becoming a regular. We might have to add him to our, our regular schedule here.
He's becoming a regular schmegular.
Regular schmegular. This is Josh. Do we give your whole name on here? Because I didn't give my whole name.
Josh.
Okay. I was about to do the
Just Josh.
full government. And you would have gave me the side eye. Like, really?
No,
I
it's
was
good.
trying to give that to everybody.
Josh Hawkins. I feel like it's been said before.
Has it?
Yeah.
We probably did.
Probably.
We probably did.
Yeah. Well, if not, it's the first time for everything.
Hey, today's the day.
Exactly.
That's how we feel. How have you been?
I've been really good. I actually have been really good. Things are going great, and I just did a engagement shoot for some good friends of mine. So
Okay.
I'm going through that and
Okay.
getting ready to give it back to them. So yeah, things are moving and a grooving.
Very nice. And when you say engagement shoot, you did the photo. You have a photography business.
Yes.
In case the listeners did not know.
In case the listeners
In case they didn't know, you point and shoot.
I point and shoot
Well,
cameras.
you probably adjust
a little bit.
a little bit. Some adjusting going on. Let's see.
How have you been?
That's what I was wondering. How's my week been? My week was fun. I haven't been too bad. I've had a sick little baby at home. I feel like everybody, especially, first of all, there's the whole flu issue, no matter what age you are.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. I have a whole other story about that too. So there's that. And then it's not
That's
a
not
laughing
funny.
matter. Exactly. But the reason, okay, now I got to tell you, I have to stop what I'm doing. Okay, let's put my thoughts into little segments here.
Okay.
Little topics, dashes, outline. That's the word I was looking
There
for.
it is.
Babies, I feel like every time we turn around, somebody's infant or toddler has RSV. And that
What's
was, so
RSV?
it's it has to do with your lungs and your bronchial tubes and all that stuff.
So respiratory something.
Respiratory something. Literally, my daughter was diagnosed with bronchiolitis, not bronchitis.
Okay.
Bronchiolitis. And if you read up on it, it said it's RSV.
Like bronchitis light.
For the babies, I don't know. No, let me stop.
It's not funny.
Josh and I are not medical experts, so anything that you hear on here, this is not. Please do not go around telling people.
Diet bronchitis.
Yeah, diet bronchitis. It's for the little people. But no, she's doing better.
That's good.
So I was a little bit nervous because, of course, with the sound of the wheezing and everything, it's just keeping an ear out to make sure nothing gets worse because those things can turn fatal.
Right.
Just want to make sure I got her, if we had to, get her to the hospital, get her there in time, all that jazz. But she's better now. So I feel like with that off of my shoulders or off of my mind, I'm a little bit better. So funny story about the coronavirus. We have a parent. I work at a Head Start. I work in the offices of a Head Start. And there was a parent who came in and dropped off her child and said to one of the family workers that we needed to close down because everybody's getting sick and because of this coronavirus. First of all,
She doesn't.
but you brought your baby in today. So if you really are nervous about this, and secondly, even though I know that they're saying this is becoming an epidemic, the coronavirus, we are really, what we might really be dealing with is more of the flu.
That's literally what I've heard.
Right.
It's the coronavirus is happening over in China, but here, apparently, the flu is what is going
That's
on the
our
rampage.
epidemic, now. Right. So she named the wrong thing. I feel like some people are just up in arms for no reason and just they want to be heard. That's what, they just want to be heard.
Is that a segue?
Sure. Go ahead if you feel it's a segue since you are our honorary co-host.
Well, no, just about the outrage culture that I know we were gonna talk about.
Let's do it.
Wait, we didn't give our roses, and I actually thought about it, and I'm
You
ready for some
did?
roses. Yeah,
I forgot about the roses shout out thing.
I am definitely a regular schmegular now.
So regular, in fact, for anybody who's listening, so you've done this for us maybe 3 times now. In this year?
Well, the last show of the last year.
Right. Okay. You filled in for me.
Yes.
And I listened, and Josh was like, "Yeah, Chantel said, giving somebody the roses." I was like, "He listens." So yes, you are a regular schmegler who listens, and I appreciate it. Sure, go ahead. Who you giving your roses to?
I have kind of like a bouquet, but
oh shoot,
yeah,
you gonna get all these roses,
right? No, I actually want to give roses to the performing artists in Philadelphia. Whether that be my one friend, Stephanie Kernison. She's in a show called The Lizard of Oz. Oh, yeah, this is probably going to be some shameless plugs, too. She's in something called The Lizard of Oz.
I thought you had messed up your speech at first, but now that you're repeating it, okay. All right, go ahead. Lizard of Oz.
Lizard of Oz. It's like a parody show.
Okay.
And tickets are available at theericjaffe.com.
Okay.
It's funny. It seems funny. Good news. She's dead. Can we cuss on here?
No.
Okay. Clarifying questions.
First, no. If you were to ask Dylan, it's a no. Second, I have nieces and children, and
all right.
Yeah, they listen. My mom and dad, everybody listens.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well then, parents.
We are saved and sanctified over here.
Oh,
it's like,
my
no,
bad.
sorry. This is
We
that
Baptist.
show. No.
Okay. Cool. I know my uproots, my upbringing. So just look into it. The Lizard of Oz. It's definitely an adult show. I'll say that, and go from there. So that's one performing friend. Another friend, actually, I met her through this competition I'm doing, the Songbird. Her name's Koser, and Koser. You can find her at Koser Music, wherever she is. Instagram, all that good stuff. She's actually been a great judge and just helping me with my performances and whatnot. Just like her feedback has been very constructive and also kind-hearted because I know I bombed, and she was like, "You are such a wonderful soul."
Oh, she did the bless your heart after the church service? Okay.
And I was like, "Thank you so much," because I didn't need to be ripped apart on stage.
Right, because you already knew.
I already knew.
Yeah.
So she's been awesome. So yeah, those are my definitely two, and all the Songbirds who are doing it this season, Songbird 13. Shout outs to them. Shout out to getting up on stage and just doing the darn thing. Yeah. So yeah, those are my roses. That's
a nice shout out. I have a few roses to give away today too. First, I'd like to give one to our main man Dylan behind the
ones and twos.
What do you call that board that you're behind?
Soundboard?
Is it a soundboard?
Soundboard.
Yeah. Okay.
RDW.
Dylan also, I want to give a shout out to him and give roses because when I have ideas for the show, sometimes they come last minute, and I'm like, "Hey, can you play this?" And literally did that today. Can we do this? Cut at this point, and you're gonna see what we do today. But he's like, "Yeah, never has an issue." Like, no, I got
He's
this.
a professional.
So I thank you and appreciate you for putting up with my tardy announcements and notifications.
Dylan, did you see the Get Down, that Netflix show?
Oh, yes, I have.
You did?
Yes,
did you like it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, cool. I mean, as a DJ, I wanted to know
how
he felt about.
I was like, what's the connection?
No, you know how some people they'll that's not real ballad. Like they'll see like Black Swan.
Dramatic. It's very dramatic, but
okay,
it's fun.
Grain of salt. Okay, cool.
So it's like dramatized for television DJing. I also would like to.
Thank you. By the way.
Oh, you're very welcome. I feel like I was just giving a speech. I'd also like to give roses to my parents. It's my father's birthday. Shout out to him. Pew, pew, pew. The big 5'2".
Omedetou gozaimasu.
Yes. And then they are also on his happy birthday. Oh, thank you for saying that. Because I was just like, yeah.
You were just like, yeah. Cool.
Whatever you said. I don't know what you said, but just go with the nod your head. Like, it all works. That was so sweet. He's watching my children today because Chris and I have a wedding to go to. So on his birthday.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Granddad.
Yeah. Shout out to Pop and Abuelita. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah. Pop and Abuelita.
Names are real.
Yeah, they are real. And he told us that's what he wanted to be called.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So, and then my third one is to teachers everywhere because listen, I already know teachers do a really they have a tough job to do, right? And especially to ones that are inspiring, who even when it's tough with, different children's attitudes, behaviors, parents' attitudes, their behaviors, and not having the parent support, they're still in there and doing the hard work. So I just wanted to shout out to them everywhere, especially to my cousin Cherie, my best friend Desiree. They both got Teachers of the Year twice.
Wow.
Y'all go, y'all. Y'all are great. But working in a Head Start and seeing these kids, and now these are little children, and just seeing them, I love seeing them because it's fun. They give high fives when they pass, but I don't have to be in the classroom So when I'm hearing things and seeing things, it's just like, wow, there is a special, special place for people who work with children and who love that job.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so shameless plug segue. One of my topics on my podcast, I want to do education.
Okay.
So I will definitely be hitting
me up for those contacts.
Yeah. 'Cause
Definitely.
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
It will be.
Yeah, that's burnout is real. I did City Year. Do you know City Year?
I know of it.
Burnout is real. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say, and we can keep going.
Yeah, and then like they have to find ways to keep them motivated themselves.
Yeah.
Because the children need it. And then it's hard when you don't have parent support. I feel like it's easier if you have parent support coming in, like, you know, and support to a point, because not every teacher, what they be feeling and saying about children is true. So sometimes as parents, we got to, you know, decipher.
Some discernment.
Yeah, like, right? But yeah, true. So Josh and I have a whole list of things we're going to be talking about today. A lot of it is going to be dealing with culture. And a lot of it is going to be dealing with Black culture. And if anybody who does not know me and is looking at my what you can consider pale skin compared to, you know, with Black culture, I am an Afro-Latina. My father is a Black man and my mom is Puerto Rican. So I grew up knowing the culture and understanding. So a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today, I told Josh that I added some things to our list. And he automatically knew what I was talking about. And I said, you know what this is? And he'd give me the answer. I'm like, exactly. So we're going to talk about those things today. Culture,
and anybody
legacy.
Looking at me.
Should be no questions. Like,
actually, so wow, this is going to be a dark turn really quick.
Okay.
Allegedly, my dad was half Puerto Rican.
Okay.
I don't know.
For certain.
Because
there's a whole
single parent household, that whole Black man epidemic thing.
Selling, but not drugs, just selling.
Jeez. But yeah, so Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair, all that good stuff. But I did do Ancestry.com. I got that for Christmas. So in 4 to 6 weeks, we'll find out what
we have to have you back. I've had 23andMe done. We'd have to have you back. That'd be fun. Yes.
Yeah. What's really funny is that I told my mom that I got it for Christmas, and I was like, so if there's anything you need to tell me, now's the time.
Speak now, because I'm gonna find out.
She was like, let's find out together. I was like, that's funny, but not cool, right?
Mom, what do you mean?
Right.
But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back on the flip side of the break talking about things. And I actually want to talk to you real quick about that 23andMe real quick before we get into legacy and culture and all that good stuff. Cool. So stay here in the Vida show, Usala Media.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Vida show. We are here on Usala Media. Let me slow down my speech because I feel like we are here all ran together. I'm here with Josh. We did agree that I could call him Josh Hawkins for the purpose of introductions, which I feel like he's been here. This is the fourth time.
Probably fourth time in total, yeah.
Total. Throughout our whole time being here, Vida on Usala Media. So I feel like you might not need introductions after a certain point. The peoples who watch should know. But for those who might just be tuning in, we're going to do that. I just wanted to quickly say if there was anybody watching or listening who has a business or anything that you'd like to promote with positivity, you could always reach out to us at contact@veravida.com. There is space for partnerships, there's space for sponsorships, and there's space for advertising on the station here. So again, you can reach out to Usala Media or contact at veravida.com. That's VIERAVIDA.com. And Josh is looking at me funny. I have spelled it wrong before, so because I've been so fast. I try to fit into they call me USHER in my mind, and then I just messed up the whole spelling.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
that probably went over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
But like, what are you talking?
Yeah,
what song is that?
What are you spelling? So I told Josh that after the break, I wanted to pose a question to him, and I did not. I told him the question during the break, but I would not allow him to give me his response because I want to save everything for on air. I'm curious to know which racial group of people, if there is a group of people who are mostly doing the DNA tests.
The DNA testing. So I
we don't have these facts, people. These are opinions that we're just gotta put that out there.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
So I think that it is a mixed bag, because at first I think it's a mixed bag because when it was just mainly like, Ancestry.com and 23andMe, there were people who I feel like we're really interested in it. And then there's the other half of people who are like, it doesn't matter because I'm still an American.
Right.
And I get that, but I think that so the person who I heard say that comes from a very big Italian family. And like they know the lineage from like way back when. So it's like, I mean, we could be something like from another part of Italy,
right?
But we know what we are,
right?
We know who we are.
We know what continent, their people originated on,
right?
Yeah.
And there might be some traces because of like an aunt, like 3 generations back from a married side, yada yada yada. But like they know.
And let me fix that. If you are brown skin, darker skin, you also know where your people originated from, what continent they originated from. What I mean is specific as far as in Italy, what is like provinces or
something like
something
that.
They split, right? That's more what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then you have the African American community, where it's like, okay, we know the originating spot, but like
but it's a huge continent, first of all, of different countries. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And so then what I was going to say, and then part 2 to that is that, so there's Ancestry, and then there is DNA, Ancestry.com and 23andMe. There it is.
Yeah.
And then there have been like a lot of little other offshoots that have started to do it now. And then I remember hearing Michael B. Jordan talk about on, I think it was The Breakfast Club, there's like a pro-black DNA thing where it actually tells you like the actual like country and probably like even like the tribe that it comes from, like that specific. So it's like, I thought that was really cool, and I was like, oh, that would be, if I were to do it, that would be interesting to do, but I wasn't about to ask for that on Christmas. It was mixed company, so I was like, I'll just go with the on brand, like, give me Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
You don't have to ask me any questions.
Yeah,
why this one?
Right. So that's why I did that. But I do think at this point it's probably like a mixed bag.
I
think everybody's interested in it.
And I do know that I don't know the specifics, but I am starting to hear that when we agreed to certain surveys, specifically with 23andMe, if you agreed to do their surveys, you're now agreeing for them to take your information and sell it to pharmaceutical companies. And In one sense, it's like, okay, cool. In another sense, it's just like,
You seem high risk for for X, Y, and Z.
Right, and then
Want some
unfortunately,
drugs?
my mind goes to many other different places. We'll probably have to talk about later because then we're gonna not get to anything that we have on here right
Gotcha.
now. But yeah, and I wonder again, like you said, for the sake of knowing your history, your lineage, your story, and I know that that's gonna segue into our topic. But first, I just wanted to acknowledge some comments that we have here from Derek Smith. So on a can of Lysol, it actually has written on it that its effectiveness in killing the coronavirus.
On a can of Lysol?
On a can of Lysol.
Did they? Well, I'm sure they didn't just print that.
Right. So that means this has been a thing that we're just now hearing about, I guess. It's getting world news because it's the first time I've ever heard of the coronavirus.
Same.
Corona, you think... Okay. So yeah. But now I'm being back up. I should have read the rest of this. I don't see that on my can. So I don't know if that's true. Yes, it's true. Sorry. Okay, Derek.
Was this one whole
this is
comment?
My dad. Dad, can you clarify, please, with the coronavirus can of Lysol killing or not on it so we can just make that correct?
If so, shout out to Lysol.
Yeah, exactly.
Being ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So with our conversation about 23andMe
Yes.
and knowing thyself, legacy.
Legacy. Let's talk about that. Let's actually get the definition first.
Okay.
A legacy is the story of someone's life, the things they did, places they went, goals they accomplished, their failures, and more. Legacy is something that a person leaves behind to be remembered by. Legacies are pathways that guide people in decisions with what to do or what not to do. And that kind of just leads to like how you want to, legit be remembered.
Right.
And all that good stuff. Which I think I think people get to that point where they think about like how they want to be remembered, but I don't think people come out of the gate that way. So
no, that's true.
So like a lot of the decisions that they make
early on
in their life,
yeah,
they probably aren't like, oh, that's going to be like chapter 3. That's dope. You know what I mean? Like, so I think in the space that we find ourselves in now with outrage culture, cancel culture, all that stuff, sometimes people can bring stuff up and it's like, oh, but how is that really applicable to like anything that I'm doing currently? Right? What I did like 20 years ago or so. What do you think? What do you want to be remembered by? Or I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and to specify, so if you were hurting people years ago, we're going to remember that, right?
Right.
But if you made comments, I think, of certain things, or maybe if you were a boss who maybe was prejudiced towards a certain group when you first started as a boss years ago, and then you finally opened your eyes like, wait a minute, this is wrong. I do think that people can grow and people can change. And I do think that we need to allow people that space to do it while explaining to them what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Not giving, and I'm not saying giving people, and again, just, we're not giving people space to just
do
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like there does come a point where you have to look at the pattern, right? But then if you're tracking the pattern, and can we just get into it?
Go ahead.
Okay. So as we all know, I guess what's today? The 1st? Oh, the 1st of February. That's dope. Earlier this week, Kobe Bryant died. Very sad to see, and it was very sudden, very crazy. I was actually doing the photo shoot when it happened, and the couple was looking at their phone, and they found out. We're gonna delete those pics, but that's
sad.
So the next day, I was watching the Philip DeFranco show, and he was talking about it, and then like some of the stuff that people were saying the day of, like bringing stuff up from that happened in 2003.
Right.
Granted, I like kind of looked into like the whole thing because I forgotten about it. I knew it happened, but I didn't know like how it panned out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like the case ended up getting dropped or whatever, and it was kind of like, wash your hands of this and just go on about your business, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
And so from then on, though, he wasn't in any like huge scandal or anything like that, and like I feel like he actually did stuff to actually help the community.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Don't know what those things are. But I know I didn't hear about him, like, just being reckless in the club.
Yeah, because
again.
there's some people who they had a huge scandal or something that they did.
Right.
And then they keep, like, still.
They
news.
keep doing
They're
it.
the news. They're in the news. They're in the news.
That wasn't the case with Kobe. And then I think, to me, it was one guy. He's some white guy. I don't know. Watch the Philip DeFranco show, and he'll cover it. But like, there's this one white guy that was like, "Oh yeah, this guy Kobe has finally got what was coming to him."
Who was supposedly a comedian, right? I think I've seen
so.
that.
I think
I
so.
saw that clip.
And it was just like, the day of, though, bro.
Right.
Like, that's rude.
Yeah.
And so, I think there are times when, and it's definitely not. One, we don't really know what happened. We know what allegedly happened. They panned it out, all that good stuff. But also, it was literally like 15 years ago.
Right.
And it was just, I thought that was rude to do on the, like, hours after learning about it.
And it's like one of two things. People want to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just like, oh, well, I'm going to go with the unpopular thing to say. And I'm just to be heard. Two, there's some really, like, heartless people out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're really heartless. And, not only did Kobe die, his daughter died.
Right.
Not only did she die, like, families died. People, like, these are people's families. And, I personally didn't care for Kobe growing up because I was a Sixers fan. And,
I actually didn't watch basketball. I know my
the finals
skin betrays
between
me.
the Sixers and your skin betrays you. So back then, I just looked at him like, oh my gosh, he's so cocky, blah, 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 blah. But I guess after I got over all of that, like looking back, like he seemed like he was a good person. Because we're looking at them through the lens of like media and only what they want us to see.
Right.
But I think that was completely wrong as well. And it's like, people, I have an unpopular opinion about what should be done with people that I cannot share on here.
Whoopsies.
Exactly, a big whoopsies. But actually, we're getting ready to go to a break, and we want to discuss this more after the break. So please stay with us. We have so much more to cover in like a few minutes. So we're going to give what we have to say and then move.
Okay, cool.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Hello, my name is Sheila E. Armstrong, and I'm a candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. The reason why I'm the best candidate for the 2nd Congressional District is because I am on the ground doing the work. As your community congresswoman, I'm committed to go door by door and neighborhood to neighborhood to address the issues in our community. For instance, one issue that is concerning to me is the gun violence. Today is January the 16th, and the city of Philadelphia has 22 murders, which is more than a days in a year. This is not right. And you deserve to live in a city and a community that is safe. As your community congresswoman, I will work diligently to fight for you, the people. My name is Sheila E. Armstrong, and I am the best candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. Thank you.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again.
Hey, y'all. We're back. I'm here with Josh Hawkins. This is Chantel, the Vida show on Usala Media. Julie is not in with us today because she is on a vacation. She's in the sun, tanning, and just enjoying her life, living her best life. That's what she's doing.
That is what she's doing.
So before the break, we were talking about legacy and canceled culture and the insensitive people the same day that Kobe Bryant died. The things that they were saying and posted. And one thing that I told Josh over the break was he allegedly raped the woman because, like Josh said, the case was dropped.
Do you believe the case was dropped? Don't quote me on that.
Don't quote, look it up, but that's the knowledge that we have of it right now, right? So if he wasn't convicted and the case was dropped, and I told Josh, and I'm going to say this, to me, with the exception of O.J. Simpson, we cannot
Still so
bring.
crazy to me.
We cannot. Like, why are we still? We can't call him a rapist. He
And
wasn't
also-
convicted.
Yes. I feel like you might get some.
That's
hot-
my opinion.
Yeah, okay. So you might get some hot topic comments on that.
That's my opinion.
But
My views are not the views of Ursula. It's just
I just also think, to me, say what you want to say because like people are gonna have their stories anyway.
anyway. Yeah.
But I really think, like, hours after is just so inappropriate.
Right.
And I also feel like maybe because it was like, you know, Twitter fingers and like people on Instagram, but it's like, no, like go say that to like the family. You know what I mean? Like, that's like ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. I feel you.
But also that reminded me
Uh-huh.
of you added the tributes. Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about the tributes.
Yeah.
I was gonna go straight to Kevin Hart, but go ahead.
Got you. Okay, so if anybody watched the Grammys, they know that Alicia Keys and Boyz II Men did a quick tribute, as quick as they could. Obviously, it happened
Right.
on the same day of the Grammys, the same morning of the Grammys. They did a tribute to Kobe Bryant. I thought it was nice in the sense that they pulled something together.
Yes.
I'm sure they had to be emotional because these are people who know, like they're all in the industry. They know each other, right?
Okay. Yeah.
A Keys sang that song a bit flat for me.
Okay. So I thought I heard it and I was like, oh, maybe that's just like the Bluetooth that I'm like listening through because it was like my phone Bluetooth that I was like talking to you at. But then, okay, but if you're saying that, then you're definitely a better singer than I am, so you would know. But then also what I found weird was the pacing. Like, I don't think they knew who was actually going to be point on that. On the thing, because there was one of the parts where it's so hard to say goodbye and
towards like the closeout of the song.
Yeah. Somebody was like, it's so hard. Somebody was on like goodbye and then another person was like, it's so hard, or it was just off. And I was like, you guys need to figure out who's like being point and then lead off of them.
I feel like the way that would have been good, Alicia Keys said what she said, announced Boyz II Men or whatever, said what she said, steps aside, Boyz II Men came in and did their thing. Because I feel like they've also been singing together for years.
So they know.
So that pace,
they're
right.
in that. They're,
right.
And it's their song.
It's their song. Even if somebody wants to slow down, I bet you they know, like body language and feeling.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like, I know everybody was emotional. I just, sometimes things aren't thought out by this industry with tributes, even planned tributes.
I think the biggest thing for me was she probably could have just been she should have followed.
Yeah.
And I think she's talented enough to like add her runs and add her stuff to like do that. But like even the guy, he was like he started singing the song and he did like his little run and he did like the hand thing and everything.
Oh, Wanye.
Yeah.
His neck.
And I was like, there it is. Yeah, do that thing that y'all do.
Right.
And then like Alicia could have like added some like soulful like, I don't know, top over it or something.
Like he did his and stopped and let her do hers and then they closed it.
Yeah. But
we don't get paid for this stuff, and this one, what are we doing? We need to be okay. Go ahead.
But I do think it was nice, and I think it was like really cool that they did do that, and they were in like the stadium,
Staples Center.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Jennifer Lopez announced that they're during her Super Bowl performance. Yes. Why am I thinking today's Sunday? It's not Sunday. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say tonight, and I was like, no, it's not tonight. She's going to be doing a tribute to Kobe Bryant.
Yes, her and Shakira. First and foremost, shout out to them. Right, are they the first Latinas to do?
In my mind, yes.
To
I don't know if that's fact or not. But I'm just saying in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was like some like Latina before, like we don't accept her. Like I was like, whoa, racial
to my
draft.
knowledge. Let me back up. To my knowledge, not in my mind. To my knowledge, yes.
I think she was being held as that. I think it's a thought. I don't know if it needs to be during the football game.
Yeah.
I get it, but I think it's a nice thought. I think it could be executed in a different way, like maybe an actual commercial.
Yeah.
During the game. And
yeah,
like
they
play the commercial like in the stadium or something like that.
Something like maybe
I feel like
to start
in
it off.
2020 we can do that.
So, but and then let's see what they're going to do, because who knows? Maybe they will only do it at the very beginning.
That's very true.
Yeah. I just hope nobody sings the song for him.
Because that's not the point of the
it's not the
halftime
point of it.
Super Bowl.
And them as singers.
Whoa, you went there.
I went there.
Oh no.
Performers, fun, hits,
Yeah.
make everybody sing along, you know the song. Yes. Vocalists.
That's not really.
So if you're going to do a tribute, yeah, no. Okay, let's see. What else we got here on this thing here?
So going into like the whole Kevin Hart thing.
Yes.
Even with him, you know, being asked to host the Oscars, and then like his tweets from like way back when come up, and so his tweets from way back when come up, and he's like, "Yo, I've already apologized, yada yada yada," and then the Oscars like, "Yo, you gotta apologize again if you want to do this," and he was like, "Nah," which on one hand I think that was really cool. It took a lot of guts because it was like apparently on like his vision board and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then also some of the way that I think he handled it, he possibly could have handled it better. There were some times where like he talked about his apology, and the way he talked about it, I was like, I don't think you can be upset or bitter, right? Like, I think you have the wrong attitude towards this. But I also get where he's coming from, where it's just like, hey, if he has actually already apologized, it's like, this is old news. This is like water under the bridge.
Yeah.
How are you going to bring this up now?
How many times am I going to have to apologize for something I already apologized for?
Right.
One of the things in watching this Netflix documentary, there we go, dropping Netflix. Excuse me. If Julie was here, she'd laugh because I'm always watching something on Netflix. He said that after the fact, in speaking to certain, I think he specifically said Lee Daniels was one of the people he spoke to, and got this hair just flying in my face. Sorry. He told Kevin it was the fact that it made it sound like he was okay with violence towards a certain community, and then Kevin said, "You know what? Looking back, I wish I handled that different. I wish I said I don't stand for violence against anybody." But my thing is this, right? Where were all those people to talk to him at the jump? Like, why was it that it was this ongoing, him feeling the way he felt, and to me, like you said, he has the validation in the fact that I've already apologized for this. Feeling the way he felt, like, where were the people that called him, that agreed that he should make a statement, covering over what he said again, even if he wasn't going to apologize? Where were they in the beginning?
Right.
Like, and maybe they were busy. I ain't gonna hold him to it. Maybe, you know, they have production meetings and all this other stuff. But it's like, instead of taking a moment to call your brother, call your sister, like, this is why we feel the way we feel.
Right.
So I thought that was weird. The documentary in itself, the Netflix documentary, Kevin Hart, I feel, is a hardworking man. But then I just feel like there's just so much, like, like, I don't know. Okay, this is why I'm hung. You have to take responsibility for your own actions, right? So I understood.
I know what you're about.
Understood what he meant. We're having, accountability. Having people around you who are accountability partners, right?
Who can like buffer out the stuff.
Correct. But it was also like, I think we as a people have to be real with ourselves as a person. You have to be real with yourself. Yeah, I didn't have people that I normally have around me as my support to tell me, no, don't touch that. But there's something inside of me. Right. That wants to do that thing.
I knew if the people were around, they would be like, nah,
what you doing, bro?
Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't do it. Yeah.
Right.
That's funny because the guy I was telling you about, his name's Derek Jackson, Jaxn. He doesn't get that much love from guys on like Facebooks and social medias, but anywho, he watched the documentary and he said the same exact thing of like, everybody's like coming to bat like, oh, I should have been there for my bro. And he's like, but he's a grown man. So like at a certain point, a grown man's going to do what a grown man's going to do.
Right. Are you going to be with that person 24/7 and like stay by them like, oh, don't touch that. No, like, so, you know, I got what he was saying and I understood. And I do understand the strength in the numbers that if you're with people, you know, somebody might make you think like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Think about what you're doing. And you're like, what the heck's wrong with me? Especially if there's alcohol involved, because that would definitely help skew your perception. But yeah, I felt like while you can use that, don't use it as a complete crutch. like, there has to come a point where it's like, normally this is what they do. I have my accountability partners. My brothers are with me. But I messed up because there was something in me that I need to fix, correct, to make sure I don't ever do that again. Because they're not always going to be able to be there. People are not always going to be able to be around you.
I will say, I feel like I remember when it first happened, he went on The Breakfast Club. A lot of stuff happens on The Breakfast Club, apparently.
That's also my go-to. If something happened, I'm like, let me go watch this interview right quick on The Breakfast Club. Yeah.
And I do believe at that time he owned up to it. But like, once again, there was like one interview on The Breakfast Club years back.
Right.
You know, like, if you want to go through the archives, go ahead, knock yourself out. But like, who's going to?
Right.
I think what's off-putting, I guess, is that in his new documentary, he revisits it. And I know it takes a long time to make a documentary, so maybe it was just a part of the whole thing if he wanted to tell the actual whole story.
Right.
But since you are the person who like has final say, you can kind of like cut and edit and tell the story. So
you felt that he was being... Oh, so things could have been edited because it was his production, or he was being transparent?
I think he was trying to be transparent.
Okay. But at the same time, it's his production company.
But at the same time, it's your production company, and after you watch the whole thing, you can say like, you know what? It's been some time. Let's focus on what I am doing great. Let's focus on like the Jumanji.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the movies that he wants to do and all that stuff. So
yeah, I feel that. So we don't have much. We have like a minute left in this segment, and I have. So I already asked Josh if he's seen the Tyler Perry movie on Netflix, A Fall from Grace, and he did tell me he did not. But this is what I want to say. I have potentially an unpopular opinion. I don't know if this is how people feel.
About Tyler Perry?
About Tyler Perry and his shows.
Oh, yes.
So the writing, the storyline, which there was a good twist. It felt like it was boring to get there. I have to be honest.
Okay.
There was a good twist. The wigs. First of all, the women's weren't that bad. The wig that the man had on, oh my gosh.
I've heard about that.
Really bad. But here's my question. Is Tyler Perry Studios the Black Hallmark Channel or Lifetime Channel?
Wow.
That's how I felt watching A Fall from Grace.
Do you want me to answer now, or are we about to cut to something?
I don't know. Do you want to tell me how you maybe potentially feel? Let's do it on the flip side. You can tell me how you potentially feel about that. All right. We'll be back after this break to talk about whether Tyler Perry is the Black Hallmark and Black Lifetime Channel after this break.
Hello, my name is Sheila E. Armstrong, and I'm a candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. The reason why I'm the best candidate for the 2nd Congressional District is because I am on the ground doing the work. As your community congresswoman, I'm committed to go door by door and neighborhood to neighborhood to address the issues in our community. For instance, one issue that is concerning to me is the gun violence. Today is January the 16th. And the city of Philadelphia has 22 murders, which is more than a days in a year. This is not right. And you deserve to live in a city and a community that is safe. As your community congresswoman, I will work diligently to fight for you, the people. My name is Sheila E. Armstrong, and I am the best candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Vida show here on Usala Media. I am your host, Chantel. Again, Julie is not with us today because she is on an island soaking up the sun, enjoying her time with her husband. But I am here with Josh Hawkins, who has been filling in for either Julie or myself, and we are definitely grateful for you being here with us because it's fun.
I'm grateful to be here. It is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So on the flip side, I asked the question, is Tyler Perry Studio the Black Hallmark or Lifetime Channel? So Josh said, I think you have an opinion or want to answer?
I guess I do. I never thought about it that way, but when you say it, it's like, I guess he is, because it's like, so for me, I usually really like his plays.
Yes.
His TV shows and his movies, I'm like, oh, bro. You could, like, really? Come on. And those are the same reactions I get when I watch, like, Hallmark or Lifetime movies. So it's like...
You see the correlation here? You see the comparison?
I mean, and you know what, though? That's not a bad niche to be in.
Exactly.
Just understand that that's where you are.
Exactly.
You know, like, they find people to do it.
Right.
They get the checks to get the green light and make these movies. People watch them. People enjoy watching them over the holidays and stuff. So, hey... Do you make your money?
If I go to my parents' house, not all the time, but if I go over there, they're watching Lifetime, and I'm just like, But there's a whole Lifetime movie network now. Yeah. Not only Lifetime channel, there's a Lifetime movie network where it's just all Lifetime movies.
And there you go.
There you go.
So it's a very bittersweet, double-edged sword kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to him for doing it and having his own studio. Like, that's actually very, very awesome.
It is, and it's a big thing for the Black community.
Yeah. But yeah, you might be Chocolate Hallmark. It's fine.
Chocolate Hallmark.
It's cool.
But make your money and do you, boo.
Yeah.
Do you, boo. All right, so did I pronounce his name right when I said to you? David Schwimmer? Schwimmer.
Otherwise known as Ross.
Yes, from Friends. I guess proposed that there be an all-Black or all-Asian reboot of Friends, and we have a clip here that is probably the same sentiment that Josh and I have. I don't even know if you've heard this clip before. This is from let's just play the clip, Dylan. Thanks.
And get what you need done. David, I think this is such a good idea, and if you allow me, let me pitch you what my all-Black reboot of Friends is. Let's say it takes place in New York, again, small brownstone in Brooklyn. Let's say it's 4 Black women, 2 Black men. Maybe the lead character, Khadijah, just throwing a name out there. She works at an editor of, I don't know, Flavor magazine, and her friend's like an airhead. Her name could be Sinclair. She's got a bougie friend, Regine. I'm just throwing names out here. A lawyer friend, Maxine Shaw, who's beautiful and dark-skinned with braids, and, like mystical braids, like he might style his hair after hers, and 2 Black men, Kyle Barker, like kind of debonair, and then an equally airheaded male friend, maybe Overton Wakeful Jones, and we'll call him Obi for short. And this will be an amazing show, man. I mean, it's so good, and it has like Black actors and actresses. Like, I'll just throw some names out. Maybe Queen Latifah could star, and you could have Kim Fields and Kim Coles. You could have Eric Alexander, maybe T.C. Carson. I feel like he'll be good for the Kyle Barker character, and maybe John Hinton could play Obi. You know what, David? I even got an idea for the theme song. For the show. Let's call the show Living Single. And it could go, we are living, hey, single. Who in the 90s kind of world? I'm glad I got mine. So keep your head up. What? Keep your head up. That's right. We gotta find
Nobody knows that part ever.
Am I right? True blue. We tight like glue. We are check it out. Check it out. I don't know, something like that. Why David Schwimmer? Because this show already exists. And it came out the year before Friends. It's a pre-boot.
Yep. So this is Queen Latifah and James Corden.
The Living Single was a jumping off point for another huge sitcom on NBC.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Living Single came out, shortly thereafter, Warren Littlefield, who was president of NBC, they asked him if he could have any show on television, any of the new shows, which one would it be? And he said Living Single. It was in the newspaper. And the next thing you know, here comes Friends, which was an amazing show.
Guess what? The white version was a massive success. And these actors get $20 million a year to this day.
Thanks, Dylan.
Very true.
Isn't that
very
amazing?
True. Very true. So it's like
Jennifer Aniston was like one of the top paid actors
like
for a while because of that.
But it's just like culture again. Like, can we have and cool. So part of it is like cool that you are inspired by what is going on. But it's just like educate yourself, people.
You know what's really crazy?
What's that?
I was always a huge Friends fan.
Were you?
I was.
I wasn't, and maybe because I watched Living Single first. And I'm not taking away from Friends because people love it. I hear it's really good.
It was funny.
Fun.
It was fun. It was a fun thing that you didn't have to like. This was before I wanted like story, plot, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I didn't really watch Living Single that often, but I knew it existed, and I knew it was the counterpart. I did not know it was before.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was before Friends.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So now I kind of like want to go back and like watch Living Single. Like,
I've actually done that.
Is it on Netflix or something?
No, I probably got to stream it somewhere. So, but probably Prime Video, maybe. I don't know. Okay. But Martin and Living Single came on at the same time when I was younger on like UPN. I don't know if you remember UPN Network.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
That would go on UPN.
And before we get out of here, something we want to talk about. Dylan, have you ever heard about ginger ale as medicine?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dylan knows.
Dylan knows.
All right, so Black Twitter, there was a Black people and ginger ale and Unbreakable Blonde. Somebody had said, attention Black people, I drunk ginger ale and still feel sick, nauseous, just to let y'all know. And these were the responses. What kind of slander are you attempting here? Next response, did you lay down? Directions clearly say, drink some ginger ale and go lay down.
Right.
Did you also neck a sleeve of saltines? It doesn't work otherwise. Are you also watching a soap opera or Price is Right? These are very important steps. Maury, Judge Judy for the extra razzle dazzle. Did you lay completely still? The real question is, what brand did you drink? Schweppes. Somebody put Soulja Boy. Schweppes? Schweppes. So it says definitely Canada Dry. Who told you Schweppes? WebMD?
Also Seagram's if you don't have Canada Dry.
Okay, fine. But it's funny because, Dylan, I don't know, did you do that as a child? Were you told to drink ginger ale?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So how does this person not know? That's the thing
It's
for
a
us
thing.
too. Saltine crackers sitting on the Price is Right. All that stuff was on TV, but we had to share that. And unfortunately, we can't get into exactly how we feel because we have to get out of here. But we thank you so much for tuning in to another week on the Viera Vida show here on Usula Media. Check in with us next week. And this airs on Wednesday. I think that's our day. We think. We're here.
We're here.
Tune in. There's a lot of great shows. Tune into them all. Thank you again, Josh.
Yes.
Thank you, Dylan. Everybody have a great day.
Bye-bye.